Welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers along with Bob Sellers. You know, the much respected New England Journal of Medicine has published an article declaring that sexual identities should not be printed on birth certificates. The sex of the baby should not be listed anymore. Why, you would ask? Well, it says because of the particularly harmful effects of such designations on, quote, intersex and transgender people. So are we ready to erase the entire concept of boys and girls? Christina, what do you think about this move?
You know, I've been thinking about this one for a little while as I prepared to talk with you guys today. And my honest answer is I just don't care. Like, if you're about freedom, why do you care what's on my birth certificate? And if you're about freedom, why do you care what happens in my bedroom? And it's just one of those things where this is not an important issue to me. I feel like everybody should do what they feel like they need to do within the confines of the Constitution and within the law. And if you're not breaking the law, have at it. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your life.
Amanda, do you agree? Do you think that this doesn't impact anyone else or impact society as a whole?
It actually does. So I disagree, because you have to, make sure that you have accurate records, and that record keeping for the government is very important. So the accuracy of those records, I think, is of paramount importance. And I really don't see why you wouldn't want to have the sex of a child on their birth certificate. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't pass the lab test. And for the New England Journal of Medicine, I have been a healthcare attorney for many, many years, and they are the gold standard. And it's surprising that they would take this approach and take this stance.
Yeah. So, well, as a healthcare attorney, just to continue with that, I mean, what about, you're born a boy or a girl in terms of moving forward with any type of medical procedures that you have to have, that type of thing? I mean, that alone seems like would be a reason to have it on your birth certificate.
I think it's of paramount importance. I mean, when you go to apply for health insurance, they ask if you are a male or a female, because even your benefits are designed differently for men and women. So it's just something that doesn't really add up for me. I don't see why having your sex on a birth certificate is an issue. So I look at this differently as what someone does in their bedroom. This has nothing to do with that. This is actually vital records that are maintained by the state and local governments, and that's really important to preserve. It's really important that we have those to be accurate. Just think of crimes that could occur. I mean, you want to be able to identify who could have potentially committed a crime. There is a difference between a man and a woman, and you want to be able to identify that, and you rely on government records for that.
Amir, just legally, why do you think that they're suggesting this move be made?
Because they're caving into the woke left. That's the only reason why. Why would a previously respected scientific journal that's supposed to be based on objective data and science now put out something under the guise of a medical study that's so patently politically slanted? Do you think that they would have published an article if it had come out the other way, saying you need to have the gender or the sex listed on the birth certificate or on a driver's license or on any other government document? Of course they wouldn't. Why is there this push to erase the difference between men and women, boys and girls? What are you going to do if there's a crime committed? Are you going to put this individual who may be biologically female in a male prison or vice versa? The host of issues that comes out from this, both legally, security-wise, just across the spectrum of different things we'll encounter is just mind-blowing. And this is what I want to just tie this back to COVID. Is it any question? This is perfect explanation for why people are critical of science. They say wear a mask. Great, I agree, you should wear a mask. But do you think people are skeptical of science when they come out and say, well, it doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl. We believe in science. We believe in data. You should do that when it comes to COVID. But we don't have to do that when it comes to biology or physiology. Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous.
So wokeness trumps science, Bob.
Yeah, my wife is a teacher, and she teaches in Arlington Public Schools. She's not allowed to use the term boys or girls, referring to her kids as she's teaching, which is kind of odd. That's where we are now. But she also, in her career, is also taught sex education, and I'm sure that Amanda can attest. There are primary sexual characteristics that help identify whether someone is male and female. Now, if there's anything else as people grow up and I agree with Christina, whatever somebody wants to do, that's fine. But there also need to be, for health reasons, if nothing else, you have to be able to identify you'll identify whether the baby is born with all arms and legs and all that, and what other characteristics it might have. That's information that's fairly important down the road.
Yeah, they're trying to, in means of an explanation, it's kind of above the line or below the line and where certain information lies. I think right now we want to go to the vice president, just to interrupt this conversation momentarily, where he is talking about the 1-year anniversary of the Space Force. Should we listen briefly to hear what he has to say? Let's pause for just a moment and listen.